Hey everybody, Arjuna Contreras here. Everyone calls me RJ. I'm the drummer for Reverend Horton Heat. Been playing in the band about 2.5 years now, having the time of my life. We're out on our January-February 2020 tour. About 35 shows in 42 days. We're hitting the road hard to start off the year, and couldn't be more stoked. So I'm going to give you a little rundown of my kit, codenamed Goldfinger. Developed this with my friends at Ludwig drums, and I'm really stoked at how it turned out. Basically, I have the classic maple series, which are like the Swiss Army knife of Ludwig drums. You can go any direction you want with these depending on heads and tuning. Pretty much the most versatile drums that I've ever used. So to start off with, I have a standard 14 by 22 inch kick drum, but with the modification of the T-rods on there to give it more of a vintage look. Obviously a gold sparkle finish you're seeing right now. The toms are conventional sizes, 9 by 13 inch rack, 16 by 16 floor on the right, 16 by 18 floor on the left. And I should mention then that these all have custom wood hoops on them made by Stellar Wood Drum Company, or Stellar Wood Hoop Company in Wisconsin. They did a fantastic job of getting the hoops to be low profile, so they're really easily playable. They look beautiful. They match the wood hoops on the bass drum perfectly, including the gold sparkle inlay. And the drums are really just a joy to play. They tune really easily, sound beautiful, obviously have the classic Ludwig sound, and they're just a blast. As far as my snare drum, I'm using the 6.5 by 14 Ludwig raw brass Phonic snare drum, which they came out with just a couple years ago. Beautiful sounding and looking drum. Cuts really well, has great body to it as well. Again, another easily tunable drum, so that's always a bonus. Yeah, I'm absolutely in love with these drums. Sound great, look brilliant. All right, let's talk about cymbals. All Zildjian. Had the honor of going to the factory about 1.5 years ago and choosing these all individually specifically for the Rev gig. I wanted cymbals that were musical sounding, but also very fast in how they spoke and how quickly they got out of the way. So much of our music is really fast, and I needed cymbals that had a quick articulation. So the ride that I love and settled on is a 22-inch K-Custom medium ride. Has a great bell sound, great stick sound, great definition. For the crashes, I went with the K-Suite line, which was relatively new at that point. I have a 17, 18, 19, and 20. The 17 and 18 are mostly for like the super quick accents. When I want a little bit longer ring and sound to it, I go with the 19 and 20. So I am making like conscious decisions. Well, I guess it's unconscious, hopefully, while I'm performing, but I'm going for definitely certain sounds while I'm playing. I have a couple just like 10-inch K splashes, like piggybacked on top. I want to go for like a little quick kind of quick accent, just with a punctuation more or less than anything else. The hats are the 15-inch K Suites as well. Absolutely love them. Have a great chick sound, have a solid stick sound, and a washy kind of sound that's just really killer. Let's talk drum heads. Well, they're all Remo. They're all Remo heads. I'm using a Remo PS Clear black dot on the kick drum batter, on the bass drum batter. Front head is a standard logo head. Tuning wise on that drum, I have the batter head basically as low as I can get it without any ripples in it. The Resonant head is quite a bit tighter. There's very little muffling in there. There is a small like muffling like pillow in there, but there's not much. But that's kind of the kick sound that I'm going for. As far as the toms are concerned, I'm actually using Emperor Smooth White on all batters for the toms, and Ambassador Smooth Whites on the Resonant side. Tuning wise, the batter sides are more of a medium tension. The Resonant sides are actually a little bit up from that. Okay, not much, maybe less than like maybe a third or so up, you know, from that. But I don't look at it like, I'm not doing it that scientifically when I'm tuning. It's more of like a feel and an ear thing for me. There's a little bit of muffling. There's some drum dots on the toms just to control a little bit of the ring. Again, in an effort to kind of get out of the way with the sound quickly. A lot of stuff that we're playing is super fast. I want the drums to be articulate, but not ring too long. On the snare, I'm using an Ambassador X coated on the batter, and then an Ambassador Hazy side, actually, on the snare side. Tuning wise, on the snare drum, the batter is fairly tight. The Resonant side, the snare side is significantly tighter, and I think that helps me get like the snare response that I want. Cool, let's talk hardware. All Ludwig drum hardware. I'm using the Atlas Pro double pedals, also the Atlas Pro basket snare stand, and Atlas Pro hi-hat stand. The cymbal stands are all Ludwig's flat bass stuff in an effort to make it all look real vintagey, you know. So, and they're super sturdy. Like, you know, I hit the crashes pretty hard at times. They never move at all, you know. So it's single braced, flat bass hardware from Ludwig that's really killer. And as far as the drum throne, I'm using the Porter and Davies rig, which has totally changed like the way drums feel for me to play, because I can feel the low end from the kick drum and also from the floor toms while I'm playing. It works out perfectly. So, you know, shout out to Dill Davies at Porter and Davies for the amazing product that they've provided me with. But I should also mention I'm using Phonics in-ears, which I was able to get in gold sparkle to match my drums, which was a nice touch. But using their 3D Aero unit, which has little ambient mics in them, I can dial in just a little bit of stage sound if I want, along with the feed that I'm getting from the monitor engineer. And I run that through like a little Mackie mixer. Oh, we got this little like Atlas Ludwig arm that I mounted a cowbell on, which is kind of again like an attempt to make it look old school and vintagey. So there you have it. That's my drum set, codenamed Goldfinger, provided by Ludwig, Zildjian, Remo, Vic Firth. I don't think I mentioned yet that I've been using Vic Firth's Freestyle series sticks, which are a little bit longer and have a long taper. They feel great. I actually go back and forth between the 5Bs and the 55As depending on what song we're playing. If we're rocking out harder, I tend to go with the 5Bs. If we're doing more of a jazz kind of thing or a jump blues song that we do, I might switch to the 55As. So I'm actually actively switching during the gig for different feel. But there you have it. Hope you liked it. Hope you liked the kit, and hope to see you at a show if you ever get a chance to come see us. Say hi. All right, take care.
Kids, let's rock on! The drum and roll.